Hey everybody, what's going on? Yeah, it's been a while, hasn't it? It's been about 2 months since I've done a video on this channel, and before we get down with the video, because as you can tell based on the title of this video, we're going to be talking about the Oscars, but I want to just address the elephant in the room, and that is, where have I been? Life. I think that that's probably the best way to put it. Just life. Some family stuff. Some just personal stuff. So just been doing my thing and just been keeping myself busy. And you know, I haven't had really a lot of free time, and honestly, really have had the spirit to do videos. There's just a lot of stuff that I just had no care to talk about on camera. Not to say that I've seen a lot of bad movies this year already or anything, or a lot of mediocre movies or anything. I just didn't feel like talking about them on camera. So, but I did see a few good movies. Like at Sundance, I saw a couple of good movies, and I might talk about them on this channel. But I mean, really nothing these past few months really propelled me to do a video until now, because and before we get into all of it, before you ask, are videos coming back? At this point, my channel is a very sporadic type, so they're just gonna come whenever they come. If it's a week later, then so be it. If it's a month later, then so be it. That's just pretty much how this channel is gonna roll moving forward. Because I'm pretty much just going to talk about, whatever I feel is worth talking about on camera. I'm not going to just talk about things that I just have zero care for, or have like maybe one sentence or two of opinion. That's not, that's not enough for a video. I need to be able to have a lot to say in order to do one of these videos. And believe me, with the Oscars, I got a lot to say, so let's just get into it. So let's get into this whole Oscar BS, I guess, the best phrase to use. For those not in the know, the Oscars has made some big changes recently. As of this recording, yesterday they dropped a big announcement, and over the past couple of weeks they've been announcing a couple of things. One of which is that they were actually going to have host again, which I thought was kind of a weird idea, because I was actually getting pretty comfortable with the idea of no host. I've always thought a host for an award show was always weird to begin with, because really all they're there to do is to do some surfaceable comedy and then announce the next presenter. That's all they're there to do. And most times the comedy is like I said, surfaceable at best or just cringeworthy. And for the Oscars case, a lot of the comedy is the Oscars as of late has had some really strange stuff happen. It's been really meme-ified. Let's just put it that way. A lot of cringy or strange things have gone on. Like Glenn Close twerking, I think that's one of them. Or I'm trying to remember another one. I forget another one, but that one was that one I remember the most was Glenn Close twerking. That was that definitely summarized that year's Oscars pretty well. But they announced that they're going to have 3 hosts this year, which even added more to the strangeness. Because if you're going to have a host, just have one host. Just have somebody. I don't need a group of people. And then I heard the names and I was like, oh, I don't know. No. I believe it's Amy Schumer, Regina Hall, and Wanda Sykes, I think that's who they are. And the reason why I groan at these names is because, well, number one, if you're going to have a host at the Oscars or a host for any award show, have them have some kind of connection to the show itself. None of these ladies I see as Oscar royalty or anything of that sort. Now, don't get me wrong. I mean, they're all talented in their own respects. But if you were to tell me, like, do you think Regina Hall is Oscar worthy or anything like that, I'd probably say no. But you know, if we're gonna have a host for the Oscars, have somebody that either A has legs, you know, is actually someone who is Oscar worthy, or B, you know, get a really good comic, you know, get someone who's a really good comedian, like get like a veteran, you know, somebody like old school, because I am not down for having like the comedians of today go up on that stage. Not to say that I hate any of them, but for something like the Oscars, which is all prestige and, you know, it has a certain type of atmosphere to it, I kind of want some veterans. I kind of want some experienced blood to be hosting and taking helm of this type of ceremony. Not a bunch of, you know, people like myself who are in their 20s, you know. I don't want to see that. So yeah, so I wasn't big on the host thing. Those hosts that was the first red flag for me. It was like, I'm not really jiving with those choices. I have nothing against those people, but again, just I not really the choices I would have picked. But that was the first one. And then the fan favorite category, that was that definitely added. That was the first big like if the host wasn't a red flag, this was definitely a red flag, because if you go back to 2019, I think 2018, we actually had this category presented before, but it just had a different name. It was Best Popular Film. Anyone remember that whole thing with the Best Popular Film thing? They pretty much brought that back here for this year. Instead of the Academy voting on it now, it is now up to you guys, up to the Twitter folks. And last I checked, the one that is in first place is Cinderella. Yes, Cinderella, one of the worst movies that came out last year, and that is not just my opinion. That is pretty much universally understood, or universally what's the word I'm looking for? It's a pretty popular opinion. Let me just put it that way. With Cinderella, for some reason it is in first place. I assume it's because of the Camila fan base, but that pretty much puts in perspective how that's been doing, and the legitimacy and all that stuff towards that category, and it was the first sign of showing that the Oscars was wanting to be trendy, which is something that they've been wanting to do for a long time. Again, go back to 2018 or 2019. You see what they were trying to do there. They were really trying to be trendy and really trying to be a typical award show. You know, basically just trying to cater to the audience. And because the viewings and the ratings have been, you know, just going down and down and down with every award season or every Oscar season. And I think last year's was the lowest. So it's understandable why they would need to make changes. You know, let me just make this clear. I'm not against the Oscars doing changes. I'm just against these changes. I think that there are other things you could do, which we'll talk about in a second. But one of the changes I do not like is the thing that happened yesterday, which is another attempt at something that they tried to do in 2018 and 2019, and that is they're not going to televise 8 categories on the Oscars telecast. They're not going to show those. They're going to have an hour before the pre-show to celebrate all these categories, including film editing, sound. They got rid of sound design. It's just now one thing. Sound, score, the short film categories, and then a bunch of others. Makeup. Those have all just got the boot, and they're now just going to be shown an hour before the pre-show happens and the red carpet, basically just telling all those people that you don't matter to us and you are not that important, and you also are not going to give us ratings because we want to be relevant, as they had phrased in their letter to the Academy. If you read the letter that the Academy put out to all the Academy members, they basically were saying that we don't care about prestige or being what we actually were, for the longest time, which is the most important award ceremony in the entertainment industry, particularly the movie industry. No, we don't want to be that anymore. Instead, what we want to be is trendy. We want to try to be relevant, and we want to try to cater to that younger demographic. Even though statistically 20-year-olds, like, look, I mean, I love movies, so obviously I'm going to watch the Oscars, but a lot of my group of 20-year-olds do not care about the Oscars, and they have never cared, and they're not going to, they're not all of a sudden just going to go watch the Oscars now because you've just removed film editing and all these other things. Like, they're not going to care. They're not going to. And they're not going to show up, But I lost my place. I think I was talking about the categories. But yeah, so they removed all those categories from the live telecast, and that was pretty much the last straw for me. And that is why I am probably not going to watch this year's Oscars. I'm going to make a stand, and I'm probably not going to watch this year's Oscars because I feel that it was very disrespectful to basically tell everybody that all those film editors, all the short film filmmakers, I do short films for a living, so to see that they're basically being pushed aside in favor for memes and tweets and trending on certain pages, like that's what the Oscars cares about now. It cares about being the MTV Movie Awards or the Critics' Choice Awards. It wants to try to be it wants to try to get all these celebrities and all these people to come watch their show instead of actually being something legitimate or taken seriously. And the reason why I'm saying I'm not going to watch it is because this is not like 2018 or 2019 where these decisions can be reversed. I read this morning that they actually are finalized. They actually are going to go forward with these ideas, and you can count me out because and that is a 20-year-old. The people that you're catering to. That's what I'm saying, You're trying to cater to my age, and I love movies, but even just like if I didn't care about movies in general, I wouldn't watch this. I even either way, like even if you had categories in there, or even if they were removed, it doesn't change anything. It doesn't. Because it is a movie show. That's what it is. It's not music and all this stuff. It's movies. And there are a lot of people who love movies, and then there's a lot of people out there who don't love movies. That's just how it goes. So, and culturally speaking, movies are kind of declining a little bit in terms of popularity and just, and I'm talking about like people who love film, not people who go watch movies. That's different. So I think the Oscars just doesn't have a good mindset as to how to fix their show and how to get ratings. I know how you could fix it, or at least one idea. First of all, instead of catering to the audience, how about you actually cater to the industry? Because at this point, that's the only people who are watching this. Let's just be honest. Like, industry people or people like me, like people who are big film buffs and all that stuff, those are the people who are tuning in for the Oscars, not some kid who's playing a video game or some whatever. Like, these are not the people that are going to come watch the Oscars. People who are going to come to watch the Oscars are people like me, and or an Academy member or whatever, or a Guild's member, so instead of gearing focus to the audience of 20-year-olds who care about TikToks and Instagrams and all that stuff, cater to the industry who cares about, I don't know, film editing and cinematography, short films, or at least more industry people should be caring about short films. Because I've been seeing like a little bit of how do I say it? A lot of disinterest in short films. There are a lot of amazing short filmmakers out there, guys, and I highly recommend that you guys seek out short films and make a short film yourself. It is a valuable experience. I always tell that to people. But yeah, film editing, short films, score, music. Like you cannot have a film without any of these things. You cannot have film without editing, music, all this stuff. And you cannot make a movie. I think I just said you can't make a movie without a movie. I think that's what I just said. You cannot have a film without editing, music, sound. These are all things you cannot have. These are all things that you need to make a movie. Let me have some water because I'm getting lightheaded. And I'm going to start sounding crazy. Or crazier, depending on how you view this video. I'm just doing a big ramble. That's just how this video is going. But look, even though I am clearly not in favor of all this, and I think that it is a bit unjust what they're doing, and being pretty disrespectful to a ton of artists, because I think that all artists should be respected, and despite how you personally feel about their job, like that shouldn't factor into anything. It should just be respecting all the artists and having everybody have their moment, because those 8 categories, they're not going to have their moment. They're not. It's not going to be televised. Nobody's going to see it. They're going to show like clip packages and stuff like during the actual telecast. Basically, like right before we cut to commercial break, we're going to show you like a 5-second little bit of Hans Zimmer or somebody like saying thank you for this award or whatever, and then we cut to a commercial. Like, it's just going to be that small time. And I don't like the idea of catering to other people in the industry either. Like, I don't want to cater to directors, actors, and all that stuff. Everybody should be given equal footing and equal time to be celebrated at the Oscars. For them to eliminate, from what I heard, a third, like the 8 categories I heard is like at least a third of their categories. To eliminate all of those, it just puts in perspective how much the Oscars cares about, film in general, and that is that they don't really have much care for it anymore. They care about they care about getting viewership, they care about getting audience engagement, and they care about making headlines. And as a business, I understand as a business why they would care that way, and I understand that is in some ways number one priority. I get it. I completely understand. And as a show, not just as a ceremony, but as a show, I actually kind of agree with those intentions. Like, yes, you should care about getting viewership and an audience engagement, But there are ways to do it. There are ways to make this possible, and these are not the ways to do it. I don't know if I mentioned it already, but like one of the ways that you can make the show tighter, because that's been the complaint that I've heard for a long time, is that the show's too long and stuff like that. I don't know what you expect from a show that has 23 categories to go through. I don't know what you would expect, plus the music numbers and all that stuff, which, by the way, there's one thing that you can do to shorten the show. Get rid of the musical numbers. Because I don't know, maybe it's just me, or maybe it's just the handful of people that I've seen online. But who really cares about the musical numbers at this point? I mean, who really does care to see Lady Gaga or Rihanna or whoever come perform a song? Who cares about that? I don't. I really don't. I always I never remember any of that. I never remember the musical numbers from the Oscars. What I remember from the Oscars is the moments when people go up on stage, or some little funny bits there and there that were like accidents, or again, like the weird stuff, like the absurd things, like Glenn Close twerking, like that's the stuff I remember from the Oscars. I don't remember anything about the musical numbers, and I guarantee you that a lot of people don't either. So just scrap those. You're not going to scrap those because I know you want Billie Eilish and all those big names to, appear at your show. Because again, audience engagement, viewership, I kind of understand, but there's your answer. There's at least one option for you to tighten the show. Also, no host. I think that was a really good idea for the past 2 years, was not having a host. I think that actually would make the show a lot tighter as well, because you wouldn't have to give time for somebody to come do comedy, which 9 out of 10 times doesn't work anyway. That's just my personal opinion anyway. But so instead of having time for that, just have the presenters start coming. Just have the first award come out in the first 5 minutes, and then just keep the momentum going. These are ideas that they could have explored, and they believe that this is the best option. I highly doubt that. I believe that there are other things that you could have done, and for me, I'm not going to support a show that is undermining artists. That it also just has no respect for said artists. I'm not going to support that. And the only reason why I'm doing this video is because I just want to let out my feelings about it. But after this, I'm not going to give them the satisfaction of any kind of promotion by doing a video or anything, or just watching the telecast itself. I'm not going to do that, because that's going to make me look like a big hypocrite, and two, I am not going to support a show that is not willing to support its own artists and its own nominees. Or have any kind of respect for those people. Because if you don't think that an editor or a production designer or a sound designer is not that important when it comes to film, you don't know anything about film. Because they absolutely matter. I know that from personal experience. Everything matters in a film. Everything, from the makeup, from even the smallest things that there's not even categories for, like catering and stuff like that. They might sound like whatever stuff, but they all contribute to the experience and to making that film possible. So I don't want to hear that. Oh, I don't I don't want to hear some of the stuff I've been hearing, like, oh well, I personally do not want to see those categories presented because they're boring. I don't care to watch that stuff. It doesn't matter. what matters is showing respect to artists and having them have their time. It's putting your personal bias aside and your own personal feelings away and allowing these people to have their moment. And we're not going to get that this year, and I am not gonna watch it. I am just not going to watch a show that is not willing to show respect to a third of its nominees. I'm just not. So yeah, I have no desire to watch this year's Oscars. Beyond the Kristen Stewart winning, hopefully, for Best Actress. That's like my only thing that I hope from this year. You can count me out. And like I said, the Oscars, you're trying to cater to people like me, 20-year-olds and stuff like that. Well, you failed with this one. So yeah, and I'm a film buff too. That should be even worse. You know, I'm invested into film and all that stuff. I know a lot of the films that are nominated. I've seen a lot of films that are nominated. I don't want to watch it. I don't want to watch the show until everybody has their moment to shine. Unless this category thing is reversed, which it doesn't seem like it's going to. Unless that's done and all that stuff. Sorry, but I'm not gonna watch it. Yeah, and again, I just wanted to do this video just to let out my feelings about it, and just to let out my frustrations and stuff like that. Basically, to summarize it, I think that the Oscars is slowly becoming a typical award show. And with typical award shows like MTV Movie Awards, Critics' Choice Awards, and stuff like that, I don't watch them because they don't mean anything to me, and they're at times cringy, and they hold no weight. And that's what the Oscars is slowly becoming, a show that doesn't hold any weight. And that's really sad to say about such a prestigious show, or at least what was a really prestigious show. So. But you guys let me know your thoughts. What do you guys think about this whole Oscar thing? Do you guys think that it's justified? Do you guys feel that everybody should have their moment? I hope you do. Are you guys still going to watch it? And your thoughts on just who do you think is going to win and stuff like that. If Cinderella wins fan favorite this year, I think that should put in perspective what this year's Oscars, you know, if Cinderella ends up winning fan favorite, I think that it will put in perspective this Oscars. I really think that's hilarious to me, because 9 out of 10 people will tell you that movie was bad. So yeah. So I am. I'm tapped out. I have nothing else really to say. But I'm just a little frustrated, as you can tell, and I am just not really happy with those decisions. Yeah, it sucks. But what can we do? The only thing we can do is just, I'm not calling for a boycott, but just if there's more negativity towards something, like one of my things has always been nowadays is that if it's a lot of negative energy, why keep feeding onto it? And for me, the Oscars is slowly becoming just a negative place, and I don't know. It's probably best just to detach myself from it. So, but we'll see. I think the decisions that they've made this time around is just, it's laughable because it's also really upsetting, because you would have thought that they learned from their mistakes 3 years ago when they tried to do this originally. But no, they were just waiting, and they were planning it out more. And here we are now, 3 years later, with a fan favorite category which probably will have Cinderella winning, and 8 categories, including film editing, sound, production design, the short films, best original score. They're all going to be shown off air, and we're going to have 3 hosts at this year's hosting this year's Oscars. Also, as a last thing, the vaccine mandates at the Oscars are also really, really weird. I'm not going to get into the whole, like, vaccines are good or bad or not. I'm not going to get into that. But all I will say is that if you're going to put a mandate on your ceremony, have that apply to everybody, not just a select few, because it's only the nominees that I think that need to be vaccinated, but not the presenters or anybody else. Those people are fine. They're fine. There's no chance that they can bring COVID into this place, or over here. It's just like, if you're gonna put up a mandate, have it apply to everybody, not just a select few, because you're putting like a weird statement out there when only a few people need this, and over here, everyone here is fine. They don't need anything, So it's slowly becoming like a cluster F, and I am just not gonna watch that. I it. Yeah, I have no desire to watch it right now, and I'll wait for the memes. I'll wait for I'll wait for the Instagram post of just who won and stuff like that. I'll wait for Variety and Hollywood Reporter to report on it. But yeah. Respect all artists, man. Respect all artists. Does not matter what you think of them or how important they are to us to film or all that stuff. Respect everybody, and that's all you got to do. So, and that's what the Oscars has failed to do. So, and because of that, you can count me out. So, if you're not going to respect everybody, then don't expect me to watch it. So yeah, that's it for my thoughts. I needed to add a few more things. But now I'm officially done. So thank you guys for watching, and I don't know what the next video will be. It might be a video or a movie review. It might be something else. I don't know. It might be one of these videos where I just ramble. But you guys let me know your thoughts on the Oscars, and until then, guys, thank you guys for watching. It's a long video, I know. My apologies. But thank you guys for watching this video, and you guys let me know your thoughts on the Oscars, and I'll catch you guys in the next video, whatever that may be. Bye, guys. Be safe out there. Be safe. Wear your mask. Just keep yourself protected. And as I always say on this channel, we'll get through this together. Love you guys. I'll see you next time.